Somebody should tell Seun that his attack on obedience is a disgrace to Fela's movement of the people, Fela's MOP. A big disgrace. I don't know why you're doing it. I don't know why you're doing it. Perhaps you think that you're doing the right thing, but I can tell you that you're not. And by the time I finish explaining to you why, I'm sure you will see reasons that really you're not doing the right thing and that you are bringing disgrace to Fela's movement of the people. Why do I say so? The first time I heard you speak, Seun, it was not because you were a musician. I don't think I've even listened to any of your songs. I don't even know any of your songs. But I just know that, of course, you are Fela's son. And we all know what Fela represents. Not like I agree with everything Fela represents. I agreed with his messages. But his lifestyle, definitely not. I didn't agree with his lifestyle until tomorrow I would not agree with his lifestyle. But his messages were on point. At least that would be a rallying point for anybody who is interested in a new Nigeria. So like I said, I didn't know of you as a musician. I knew you as Fela's son. I can't remember any of the songs that you've done. I can't even remember any of the music that you've done. I can't. I know you as Fela's son. And the first time I heard you speak, I said to myself, wow, this boy gets sense like this? I was impressed. Thoroughly impressed with the things that you were saying. Seun, I was impressed. And when you started talking about movement of the people, I said, wow, this is something good. It was upon researching that I found out that movement of the people was actually started by your father, Seun Kuti. But I was impressed to find out about movement of the people by the things that you, Seun, said. On that same stage where you had the likes of Femi Falana, Dele Farotimi. It was a program, I can't remember what the program was. But I saw it on the same YouTube. And I was impressed. And I went to your YouTube channel and I saw a couple of all the other videos you've done. And I was even more impressed. But that changed. All of that changed when you started attacking obedience. Then I said to myself, does this young man know what he is doing at all? Who are the obedients? What is the movement of the people? Many people have said that Nigeria, we should not be thinking about tribes, we should not be thinking about religion. That there are only two tribes. The tribe of the oppressed and the tribe of the oppressor. There are only two religions, the religion of the oppressed and the religion of the oppressors. I thought that you, Seun, understood that you had the people who are oppressed and the oppressors. I thought that was what your movement of the people represented. But I'm obviously mistaken. Particularly with your recent rantings against the obedience. If you don't know, the obedience are the people. Your attack on the obedience, starting with, for me, I don't know if it was before then, starting with the attack on Peter Okoye or Paul Okoye on P Square, shows me that you probably do not understand that you are fighting against the people, the same oppressed people of Nigeria that you claim your movement of the people is fighting for. You don't. Your attack against the obedience, starting with your attack against P Square, showed to me that you probably have not been able to distinguish between between the fact that the obedients are not a homogeneous bunch. You can't just pack all the obedients and put them in one basket of deplorables. No, you cannot. Just like within Nigeria, you have the good, the bad, and the ugly. That is how it is with the obedience. That is how it is everywhere in the world. So there are some obedients that are extreme. There are some that are moderate. There are some that are conservative. You of all people should know this. So coming out to put every obedient in one basket and label them as stupid, label them as bigots, as you have done, is shameful to say the least. I'll tell you what, or I'll ask you one question. Your movement of the people that you're trying to raise to save Nigeria, do they all think in only one particular way? Do they? I can bet you that within your movement of the people, there are persons who do not agree with your approach. When those people act, do we, on the basis of their action, dismiss the entire movement of the people? You should have thought about that, because really, ask yourself, Seun, who are the obedients? Really, who are the obedients? Do you know, before I get into who the obedients are, do you know that a lot of the tweets, a lot of the posts, a lot of the social media messages that you consider aggressive to even your person, a lot of those social media posts are done by members of the APC to cause disquiet? Do you know that you now generalize and put all of the obedience in one basket? You do a lot of things that I am proud of. And that is why I am doing this video, to appeal to you that the obedients are not your enemy. The obedients are the same as the movement of the people that you are trying to lead. The obedients are the same as the oppressed people of Nigeria that you claim you want to free. You have done a lot of good. You did a video on this whole propaganda of who owns Lagos, or Lagos is a no man's land. And I saw a lot of sense in it. Like a lot of sense I've seen in a lot of the videos you've done about the true enemies of Nigeria, the colonialists, how they are still holding us by the jugular. I cannot dispel that. I cannot say your attack on the obedience will now make me now turn around and say you have not said some sensible things. You have. But this, your attack against the obedience, has the capacity to wipe away all of that sense that you have made in the past. Because the people on behalf of whom you made all those sense are the obedients. And they are the same people you are turning around to attack. Don't let the action of somebody like P Square define how you perceive the whole of the obedience. I am obedient. And I can say to you, I do not agree 100% with every action of every obedience. And that is allowed. Because all obedience cannot be alike. We are all queuing behind Peter Obi. We are not fighting for Peter Obi. No. We are fighting for a new Nigeria. And we are queuing behind Peter Obi because we perceive that Peter Obi has the qualities to lead us in a new direction towards the Nigeria of our dreams, towards a new Nigeria that we believe is possible. Does that make Peter Obi perfect? Of course he is not. But definitely, you, Seun Kuti, cannot tell me that Peter Obi is not different from the rest of the politicians in Nigeria today. He may not be 100% perfect, but he's different. Tremendously different. Considering the fact that the biggest problem of Nigeria today is the fact that we have politicians that are greedy, politicians that are chasing money with reckless abandon. That's the problem we have. It is this chase of money with reckless abandon that makes them susceptible to the Western powers to use. And Peter Obi has demonstrated a capacity to see money and not steal it. Look, you can argue all you like about Pandora Papers and say Peter Obi hid money abroad. But I can tell you this, even while you make that argument, you still know within you that Peter Obi did not steal government money. And if he decides to put his money in Pandora, who are you to question that? You can argue all you want and say that Peter Obi invested government money into international breweries, a company that makes Hero. But you will agree, even while you make that argument, that there has never been a governor, a leader, a president that has thought of investing government money in this country. And while you are angry or while you are not happy that he invested government money, he didn't take that money with him when he was living as governor. He did not steal government money. In fact, Seun, tell me which governor, which president in Nigeria has seen money that he did not meet. He saved the money. Now, he left that money behind. Even the governor of Taraba found it funny. Even his successor found it funny. They were making jest of Peter Obi for not stealing money. If we have that kind of president in Nigeria, would we not be better off for it? Is that quality alone not enough for you to queue behind Peter Obi and say, okay, the remaining ones so that you don't agree with, we will make sure that as president, he doesn't do that? Can't you do that? Then instead of fighting for the people, you turn around, you begin to fight against the people, fight against the obedience. You're fighting against Fela's MOP because Fela's MOP represented the people. The MOP you're talking about, they are the obedients. The people who came out with their own hard-earned money to support a Peter Obi without being given money. They came out to vote Peter Obi. Let's even agree, for the sake of argument, that the election was free and fair and Peter Obi came third. Without Peter Obi giving out money, he was able to come third. With the support of the people, does that not speak volumes to you? Does it not? You have done a lot of good work. Don't scatter the good work by turning on the same people that you say you want to defend. I am obedient, I told you before. I have come out to attack Labour Party chairman on many occasions before. I have even come out to say one or two things that I didn't agree with that Peter Obi did in time past. I believe he should never have left APGA, but he did. Many people say that he should never have left PDP. I say that he cannot have remained in PDP and gathered the clout that he has. I have had in time past to refuse and reject to join the APC or the PDP because I know that you cannot do good on those platforms. except maybe tomorrow there is a dramatic change. You cannot. You just got to leave. And he left. And you're holding that against him? That is the same as the old people. And then you had new people that you did not queue behind. You had Sowore, you did not queue behind. You had this beautiful man, Hamzat Al-Mustafa, you did not queue behind. I can understand why you would not queue behind an Hamzat Al-Mustafa. But what about a Prince Adebayo of SDP? You didn't queue behind. And I would understand why you may not queue behind these people. The best alternative we had was a Peter Obi. Doesn't mean that if Peter Obi won, then all of us will follow him like zombies, like robots. No. People like us will still be here to hold him accountable, to make sure that he replicated the good qualities we saw in him while he was governor as president of Nigeria. So stop this attack against obedience. Stop the attack against Peter Obi. You had governors, you had presidents, governors like Tinubu, who colluded with their State House of Assembly in Lagos to pass huge, gigantic pensions for themselves. But you had the likes of Peter Obi who said no. Leave government money to be used to take care of the people. What more do you want in a leader? This man consistently tells you that I did not allocate any land to myself. Until you are able to disprove that, can't you see that he's markedly different from Bale Blue, from Bulaba, from Tinubu, from Atiku, from others? Can't you see? He may not have been perfect, but he checks all the marks for a quality leader, the kind of leader that will take Nigeria in a new direction. So Seun, I appeal to you. If you want to take this as an attack, go ahead and take it. But this is an appeal to you to turn over a new leaf, to realize that the obedience that you are attacking is the same MOP that Fela tried to raise. The same MOP that you are trying to lead today. That's who the obedients are. And Peter Obi remains, for now, the best option. The best option for a new Nigeria. There are other alternatives, but we'll see what their actions will be. Right now, the political space has gone silent again, like they do every election cycle. I want to see what a Major Hamza Al-Mustafa would do now. I want to see what a Prince Adebayo would do now. I want to see what a Sowore would do now. If it will still continue to just be more protests, or whether it will be an education of the people. You can't just sit and be blaming the people. A man who is hungry lacks the ability to think straight. You, Seun, you said this yourself. I heard it in one of your videos. So what you need to do is to set out on a mission to educate the people, not attack them. There are many obedients that need education. They have attacked me and I'm an obedient. That does not mean I will now take all of obedience and put them in one basket. No. We all came from different backgrounds. We all have different temperaments, even though we belong to one ideological group. I agree with a lot of the stuff that you say about your movement of the people, but I don't smoke Igbo and I don't think I ever will. Doesn't mean I'm more perfect than you are. Doesn't. But that just proves to you that we can believe in the same ideology, but have different upbringings, different mentalities. That does not make or provide grounds for you to just take all obedience and put them in one basket of deplorables and label them stupid. That's just wrong. Peter Obi remains the only candidate that was able to say, don't vote for me because I am a Christian. Don't vote for me because I am Igbo. Vote for me because I am competent, because I did not steal government money, because I was able to fix education, fix health, fix infrastructure, fix security without borrowing a single naira. And I was still able to save money and left money behind while I was living. That was what he said. And to date, nobody has that record. Now you come and you latch on to this fake leaked audio. And you actually lied. Oyedepo did not say that audio was real. He did not say he had that conversation with Peter Obi. He did not. But you lied. Just to get grounds for your position against the obedience. Show me where he said it, whether on social media, whether on video, where Oyedepo said that the leaked audio was real. The leaked audio was fake in all ramifications. Background music, artifacts in it, the same volume between the person who is recording and the person who is speaking on the other side. You could hear the artifacts in it. Everything about it was fake. And yet you chose to latch onto that to discredit Peter Obi. Look, we are not fighting for Peter Obi. We are fighting for a new Nigeria. And we are just queuing behind Peter Obi because we have seen some tremendous quality in him. The quality of not stealing government money. The quality of growing government money. The quality of leaving government money behind. Do you know how tempting it is? He could have behaved like some other governors and say he wants to do road and keep 50% of the money to himself and use 50% to do the road. And people will be hailing him like they are hailing Wike now that he did road. He could have done that, but he didn't. He didn't. And then you latch on to this audio to discredit him. Why would you do that? What do you stand to gain? You didn't do this much to discredit Tinubu or discredit Atiku. Why are you doing this to the obedience who represent the people that movement of the people is supposed to fight for? Know this today. If you fight against the obedience, who will you get to join your movement of the people? If you fight against the obedience today, who will you get? How will you grow your movement of the people? Because the movement of the people that you are leading is supposed to be fighting for, defending the obedience. And yet, you are attacking them every day. Let the attack stop. If truly you are defending the people, if truly you don't want to bring disgrace to Fela's movement of the people, yes, I hope that you will take this message in good faith and act accordingly.